Headlines about steel tariffs. Have you wondering, is a steel building still a smart financial move? But what if a 5% steel price hike adds less than 1/5 of 1% to your total project cost? The real story of cost isn't raw materials. In fact, steel buildings can be dramatically cheaper. How much cheaper? On average, about 50% less than buildings made with traditional materials. Over the next few minutes, we'll break down why, separating tariff myths from financial reality. So where does that 50% saving originate? Let's start by looking at the typical upfront costs. For a basic prefabricated steel building kit, you're looking at roughly $15 to $25 per square foot. This includes the core structure. For a fully erected building, the cost is generally between $24 to $43 per square foot, factoring in labor and standard components. An important rule: bigger is often cheaper per square foot. Larger projects create greater economies of scale, driving down the unit cost. These numbers are already competitive, but they don't explain the whole picture. The real magic is in the portion of cost tariffs actually affect. Why don't steel price hikes sink a project's budget? It comes down to a fundamental misunderstanding of construction cost structure. First, let's look at the building's frame. The raw steel material itself is less than 1/3 of the cost of the finished framing system. Now, zoom out to the entire project. That entire structural frame only accounts for about 12% of the total cost. The rest is everything else. So, tariffs affect a fraction of the total cost. This is why even significant swings in steel prices have a small final impact. If material cost isn't the main story, what are the hidden factors giving steel its huge economic advantage? The biggest savings are in how you build. The number one advantage is speed. Steel buildings are prefabricated off-site, arriving as a ready-to-assemble kit. This means they require a fraction of the construction time compared to traditional buildings. Weeks of on-site framing are compressed into days, and less construction time means massive savings. Fewer labor hours on site, reduced equipment rental fees, and lower financing costs. That's the real cost driver. But let's be realistic. Tariffs are not irrelevant. How does this volatile market actually work? And how does it affect your project? Steel prices are global, influenced by supply, demand, and geopolitics. Tariffs are a major factor, but they can be modified or repealed. And here's a critical point. Buying American-made steel doesn't make you immune. Domestic mills often raise their prices to match. This volatility creates real challenges for contractors trying to create stable bids. The 2018 tariffs caused significant supply chain disruptions. So if upfront costs are manageable and the market is complex, what truly cements steel's value? It's about the total cost of ownership. Steel buildings are incredibly durable, resisting pests, fire, and weather. This results in lower maintenance and insurance costs over time. They are also highly energy efficient when properly insulated. This translates into lower heating and cooling bills month after month. Recall the efficient prefabrication? That same system allows for immense customization, like vast, open, clear-span designs, adding huge long-term value. When you combine upfront savings from construction speed with long-term savings from low maintenance, the percentage affected by tariffs becomes a minor detail. The evidence is clear. So how can you ensure you get the best possible price in today's market? First, strategic purchasing is key. Compare quotes from multiple suppliers and don't be afraid to negotiate. Second, act decisively. In a market with rising prices, locking in material costs and completing construction sooner can save you money. Remember our opening question? Because the material cost is only a small piece of the puzzle, the answer from industry professionals is a resounding yes. Don't let tariff headlines derail your project. Focus on the total picture of value and build with confidence.